top 5 things that I've talked myself into about the upcoming NFL season over the last several weeks. Number 5 on this list, you call them, I'm playing all the hits from the last several weeks.
Man.
Number 5 on this list has to do with the narrative that's out there that somehow, some way, Baker Mayfield is still on the Browns roster as suspension insurance for the guy who they gave $230 million guaranteed dollars to, despite now 23 civil lawsuits active against him. So it's $10 million for every active civil lawsuit against this guy and Deshaun Watson. That somehow, some way, the Browns have not traded Baker Mayfield because at some point they're going to turn to him and say, hey, Baker, we need you. We need you for 6 games. We need you for 8 games. We need you for 12 games. We still need you. And you need us still. You need us. Because your career, look where it is right now. You're on a podcast couch with a dog looking for a belly scratch. That's what you are. You need to restart your career, and you got to show everybody that you can still do it. And you can show everybody that you're a lead pipe wielding professional by putting all this personal stuff aside and doing it for us. But when Deshaun's back from suspension, you gotta leave, or you gotta sit, or we'll Keyshawn you. That's the narrative that's out there. Number 5 on this list is GTFOH with that. Baker Mayfield has played his last down for the Cleveland Browns. Period. End of story. The Browns are eventually going to trade him or cut him or hold on to him and tell him, like the Texans told Deshaun Watson last year, you're paid, but just, you're not here. And it's Jacoby Brissett's gig to keep things afloat while Watson is out with suspension. On suspension. Baker Mayfield's done with the Browns, people. He's done with them. He already sent out a Dear Cleveland letter before Watson turned around and told the Browns, I'll take your guaranteed money. He already told them we're out. There was a 24-hour period where Watson had told the Browns they were out, and the Browns were already saying we'll mend fences with Baker Mayfield in time for the season. And Baker Mayfield told them to get out of here. Might have added the F. So, number 5 on the list of things that I've talked myself into about the 2022 season is Baker's done with the Browns. Number 4 on this list has to do with Davante Adams is no longer on the Packers. And again, David Carr told us yesterday that's been coming for a long time. And so Aaron Rodgers, deep down, even though he said that he was kind of surprised by it, kind of had to have an inkling that Davante Adams might not be there this year when he is now suddenly putting everything to bed between him and the Packers also. He's back. And everybody's thinking, you know what? Without Davante Adams, we're going to see Aaron Rodgers show some diminishing returns. And that puts the pressure on him. You hear about that all the time, pressure.
Mm-hmm. Big time. Quarterback
with the most pressure.
Absolutely.
So many people put Aaron Rodgers at the top of the list. I turn around and I say this.
What?
0 pressure on Aaron Rodgers this year. 0.0 pressure. This guy is putting 0.0 pressure on himself and has 0.0 pressure on him to do anything other than what we've seen from him over the last several years, which will be to be very successful. And Matt LaFleur and everybody's going to be sleeping on this offense this year, and that they're going to have the running game to do it. And yeah, they're going to have the passing game to do it too. Might know you a little rough going the first couple weeks, maybe, but RELAX, 0.0% pressure on this guy this year. He's at the bottom of the list as far as I'm concerned. Thank you.
0.
Number 3 on the list that I've talked myself into. Yes, sir. I said it. I said it. We had Mike McCarthy on this show talking about how he's talked to Jerry Jones about his statement going all the way back to the Senior Bowl. Then, of course, Dan Quinn's going to stick around because everybody knows in the league that if you're a coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys and you stick with the program, you're going to have a shot at the head coaching position. And somebody pointed out to Jerry Jones, you already have a head coach. And he goes, no, I know that. To paraphrase. And by the way, this was the Cowboys' own website interviewing him. This is DallasCowboys.com stuff. Said it then. McCarthy came on, said he and Quinn have hashed it out. We had Dak here in studio for the Super Bowl. He was all, hunky-dory about everything. That was before Amari Cooper was sent away. And then Michael Gallup gets paid, but who knows when he's coming back. And Cedric Wilson walks in free agency. And Zeke's now a year older. And the offensive line lost Lyle Collins. And Randy Gregory says, I'm coming back. No, I'm not. Now, they did get Tank Lawrence back in the mix. Mm-hmm. And they do have a very talented roster otherwise.
Guy named Micah Parsons.
But number 3 on this list, the Cowboys have taken a step back. They have absolutely taken a step back. The draft wasn't spectacular. The free agency period wasn't spectacular. I know you don't win games in the spring and the summer.
Nope.
But I'll tell you what, this fall, it's going to be less of a full cupboard for the Dallas Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb better step it up. And we'll talk about players with pressure on. There's one right there. So that's number 3 on my list.
So CeeDee Lamb has pressure. Aaron Rodgers has no
0.0. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. CeeDee Lamb's got to be the number 1 guy right now, doesn't he? He's got to show up like Justin Jefferson and Stephon Diggs and Jamar Chase. That's who he has to be. He can't be out for a month.
He'll be all right.
Good to know. And you got to have an offensive coordinator who puts it in Tony Pollard's hands. And you have to have a head coach who doesn't have somebody looking over his shoulder like that head coach clearly is.
Nah.
Step back. Number 2 on this list. I was all in on it. Yesterday is the latest time I've been all on this, okay?
Every day.
Jimmy G still with the Niners. I get it. He's got a bum shoulder. He's just convalescing. He has no trade value, okay? That's why he's there. He's not there as Trey Lance might not be ready insurance. The 49ers are right now knowing this. Everybody with the Niners, I believe, knows this too. But the fact is staring everybody in the face, and you may not want to believe it. The 49ers are Trey Lance's team right now. Right now. It's Trey Lance's team right now, and we'll be in minicamp, mandatory or otherwise. We'll be in training camp. We'll be week 1 through week 18, no matter what. It's time to sink or swim, and the Niners are ready to swim with this guy. And Debo's going to be back, and it's going to all work out. That is the number 2 thing that I have talked myself into for the 2022 season as we're sitting here in the beginning of June. And the number 1 on this list is something I threw out there at the end of March, and I keep backing my play on. And every time I think about it, I believe it more. Every time I talk about it, I'm going to speak it into existence.
It's not a lie if you believe it.
Number 1 on this list is despite Russell Wilson coming to Denver, despite Randy Gregory going to Denver, despite Khalil Mack going to the Chargers, despite J.C. Jackson going to the Chargers, despite the Chiefs drafting a kid who's the height weight comp of Tyreek Hill and getting Marquez Valdez-Scantling and getting Juju Smith-Schuster at the wide receiver position and having Andy Reid still there and all of that. Despite this AFC West being the deepest end of the NFL pool that we have seen in quite some time. Number 1 story that I have talked myself into and belief that I have talked myself into for 2022 is the Las Vegas Raiders are winning the AFC West, people. It's the Raiders division. It's Davante Adams' division. It's Chandler Jones's division. It's Josh McDaniels coming in there and saying, I got not just Davante Adams and Derek Carr going back to school like my boy Blue. Actually, that was old school. Back to school like the Triple Lindy.
There you go.
Okay? Like Thornton Mellon. I got Thornton Mellon here. I got the Triple Lindy. I got Davante Adams. I got Chandler Jones. And I got Josh McDaniels putting it all together with Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow and Josh Jacobs.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
The autumn wind.
I've got the Raiders.
The Oakland Raiders.
The Raiders who overcame so much last year to make the playoffs and put the scare in the Cincinnati Bengals last year. In the jungle. That's the team that's going to win the AFC West. And those are my top 5 things that I have talked myself into for the 2022 NFL season.
Well done, Doctor.
Nice.
Well done.
Outside of number 3, great list.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.